Hey, it's Walt with mycameragrip.com, and I'm here to measure a removable lens. I've gone to mycameragrip.com, clicked on My Lenses, and now I can click on New Lens. So I do that. And the first thing it asks for is lens make. This happens to be a Nikon. And again, if your lens make isn't listed, you can click My Lens Make Isn't Listed and add it. And so you can create a lens plank for that Vivitar lens that you've been loving for so long. And then next we have a lens, it asks for the lens mount. This is a Nikon Z. And again, if it's not listed, you can add it. And then this lens is called the 50/1.8 space S. So we'll add that in here. 50/1.8 space S. Okay. And then it wants to know the lens minimum length. And so for that, we measure from the base of the lens where it would meet up with the camera. We don't include the bayonet mount because that slides inside the camera. So we go from there, to the lens cap. And I include that because that could be on the camera when you're walking around. So we've got 94 point something, so we'll call it 95. 95. That's the lens min length. And then this lens does not extend and retract. Here I've got one that does. So, you would zoom in it all the way. This is hard to do one-handed, but you would zoom it all the way so you get the full length of the lens, and then you could measure that. While I'm here, I might as well mention that this lens is too big for us to print a lens plank for. We've got to account for the length of the lens itself, plus the lens hood, plus here's an example lens plank. So this clip back here kind of slides into the dovetail on the plate of our grip. So add that all up, and it's too big for our printer. Sorry, maybe someday. So then, okay, we go back to our lens here. So lens max length. It doesn't extend and retract, so we just leave it blank, and it says same as lens min length. And then we go to the next field, lens max diameter. And on this camera, it's going to be where the focus ring is. So we put calipers on there, kind of scrunch them closed like that. And we get 76. Let's call that 76. And then lens diameter at camera body. So this one, the focus ring is larger than the part of the body, so we need to measure that too. So we put our calipers on there again, squeeze them together, and we get about 70. So 70. And then we want to measure the lens hood. And this lens hood has a pedal type hood, and when it's on the camera, it'll be oriented this way. So the longer pedals are at the top and bottom, and the shorter pedals are on the sides. So if we want to know lens hood length, then we want to measure the length of the longer pedal. And we don't want to include the kind of this part right back here that is going to kind of go onto the bayonet mount on the lens. So we get our calipers on here, squeeze them down, okay. So right about there, that looks good. So we're at 41, so call it 42. Okay, and then now we have lens hood width. So again, that's going to be the shorter pedals. And we've got 87.2, right? Oh, I call it 87. And then the lens hood height. And on this lens, we measure the longer pedals. this way here. That's a better way to measure. And so that's 87.5, so 88. So not a huge difference. Other lens hoods are kind of more rectangular shaped and I think would have a larger difference. And then if this were that Vivitar lens and it needed an adapter to fit onto the Nikon Z mount, then we could put in the length of the adapter here. But it's not, we don't, so we're done. There we go. And then I think we're good. Thank you.